Hi, Marie here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm excited to be doing a tag created by Emmy's World of Fragrance, and it's called My Perfume Addiction. I think that's what it's called. It may be My Fragrance Addiction, but anyway, it's something about perfume scent addiction. So anyway, she was kind enough to tag me, and so I'm super excited to do the tag. I really liked the questions. They were different than any of the other ones that I've heard, so I'm excited to get into that. But before I do, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to join the Weird and Wonderful family, and I guess that's it. Let's get started. So I'm just going to read the questions off and then answer them. Aren't you glad I told you that, because you never figured it out on your own? Okay, so the first question is, why do you use fragrances? Mood booster, habit, compliments, or any other reason? So I would say that I wear fragrance for a variety of reasons. Primarily though, I would say it's definitely a mood booster. So, or a mood enhancer. I think that's how I would put it. So, you know, sometimes I'm feeling all moody and, you know, whatever, then, you know, I'm going to wear a certain scent. If I'm feeling cheery or uplifted, I'll wear a different scent. If I'm feeling provocative or dramatic, I might wear a different scent. So depending on my mood, I will pick a scent for that. I think that that would be my number one reason. That said, if I'm feeling down, I'll also put on a scent to actually boost my mood. I like compliments. I love compliments, actually. Like, I'm a shameless lover of compliments, but I don't really ever get them regarding my fragrance. But that said, I certainly wouldn't be upset if someone complimented me on my fragrance, so I don't mind that. But yeah, I would say a mood enhancer, almost treating it like an accessory. So depending on what I'm wearing, depending on what I'm wanting to portray, I'm going to wear a fragrance based on that. So to me, fragrance is almost like putting on a pair of earrings or your outfit. It's just another layer of accessory. So the next question is, how much and where do you apply your fragrance? So I tend to put my fragrance, I'll do kind of one spritz here, one spritz down the shirt, one spritz in the back, and then sometimes I'll go like ch-ch-ch. So like, I definitely wouldn't consider myself an oversprayer. In fact, in the past, all I wore were like 2 sprays. But then I thought to myself, okay, it's time to step it up and maybe take a chance that someone might smell you. I don't know why, but I actually find that I'm a little bit shy when it comes to perfume. So like with my makeup, like I'll wear super dramatic makeup to the grocery store and I don't care what people think of it. Like if it looks like an evening makeup look, I just don't care. And yeah, I do whatever I want on my eyes, but somehow, you know, having other people smell me, I feel a little bit shy actually. But I kind of do probably about 5 sprays lately, but I'm tempted to do more, but I'm gonna just take it slow because I don't want to get self-conscious. Like, is that embarrassing? Like, I know I'm a perfume person, but I'm a little bit shy. Like, yeah, okay. Okay, moving on. So the next question is, how many perfumes do you use a day? I always wear 2 fragrances. I wear one for during the day, and then I wear one to go to sleep. So at night, I always spray perfume on before I get into bed. That said, if my perfume during the day doesn't last as long, I will do a late afternoon, early evening fragrance as well. So 2 for sure, sometimes 3. And then of course, if I'm testing perfume, I might have like 5 or so on my arms, but that's a rarity. So if I'm just wearing it for the pleasure of wearing a perfume, then I tend to do 1 in the morning. If it dies down, I wear another one in the evening and then 1 for bedtime. And to be honest, you know, a lot of times people are wanting beast mode fragrances, but I actually am not, like, I don't mind beast mode, and sometimes they come in handy if you're not able to respray or anything like that. But personally, I enjoy changing up my fragrance during the day, so I don't actually mind if a perfume lasts 4 or 5 hours. Next question is, do I enjoy other perfumed products? And I would have to say, I absolutely do. So, you know, before I really got into fragrance, I was actually really big into essential oils. So I have a whole entire drawer that is dedicated to essential oils. I make my own blends. I have a diffuser, and I really love the healing properties of essential oils. So in my home, I tend to gravitate towards that. I definitely like Bath and Body Works candles and stuff, but I don't use them as often as I normally would because they kind of bother my son. He tends to get a headache. So if he's not around for the day, I'll put on a candle. But for the most part, I stick with the essential oils in the house. And then I also really love shower gels, like fragrance shower gels and lotions and all that kind of stuff. So yes, I love all sorts of different types of fragrance. That said, in the home, for whatever reason, I find that I do prefer the natural essential oils over fragranced things because some people have sensitivities. If they're coming into my home, I don't want them to have any sort of a headache or anything like that from burning candles. So I have my candles that I do for me. But I tend to gravitate towards a diffuser, you know, if someone's coming over. I also like using like lavender essential oil on my curtains or, you know, different places like that, linen sprays, that kind of thing. But I don't like the plugins, like Bath and Body Works plugins or Glade plugins. I just find that they're a little overwhelming and quite artificial. So yeah, I find that it bothers some people, so I just don't bother with them. The next question is, what fragrance in your collection best represents your current taste and aesthetic? Now that's a fantastic question, and I'm not sure I have a definitive answer. I picked two bottles. So I picked Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel, and then The Only One Intense by Dolce & Gabbana. Now what I like about both of these bottles is clean, straight lines. Yeah, just kind of clean, simple. I tend to gravitate towards this. I like this from the perspective of its French. I like over the past little while, I've done a lot of furniture, you know, furniture makeovers. And I tend to gravitate towards doing like French script writing on it, white, clean. But I also find that my favorite, like I like my light gray walls with white, you know, white accents, kind of white and gray, really clean, almost spa-like in a sense. I guess you know, you could probably go with, you know, a modern farmhouse type idea. But yeah, like anything that makes me go is what I gravitate towards from a house aesthetic. But what I tend to gravitate towards in clothing is black. Like I'm trying to branch out and wear different colors because I think that they look better on me now that my hair's gone lighter. But overall, like black, clean, simple lines is what I appreciate in clothing. Like I'm a black head to toe girl, maybe a little bit emo at my heart. Maybe a little goth. In fact, like seriously, I can't believe how many people have told me over the years, wow, you're just so goth. And I'm like, I don't feel goth at all, although like I can see, you know, maybe actually I kind of am, like at my core somehow. So anyway, this definitely represents kind of my fashion. I think that this represents more my my house aesthetic, but kind of like a mixture of these two. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, moving on. The next question is fragrance that you love but don't wear often and why. So that would have to be Shag Off Oud. I love this fragrance. Like, is the bottle even clean? I love this fragrance. I'm not really keen on the bottle because it shows fingerprints and it's a little bit much, but I love the scent. So I love the rose, I love the praline, I love the oud, and it's like so moody and It's quite sexy, but I find it's really strong, and for wearing it in the house, like it's to me more of a like an evening sexy sultry scent, and I'm not really going out in the evening, and yeah, so I haven't really been wearing anything of this nature. I find it's a little bit much if I put it on to go watch TV with my husband. Like, it's just too much. So I haven't been wearing it, but I really do. I love it. But I definitely, as much as I love it, I love sniffing it, I gravitate towards other fragrances on me, probably more in this genre as opposed to this, but I wouldn't ever want to get rid of it. But I don't wear it often. The next question, such a great question, is do you divide fragrances by masculine, feminine, seasonal, based on any other categories? I would have to say yes. I definitely, I look at fragrance from a perspective of masculine and feminine leaning, okay? So I don't think that, that women can only wear feminine scents and men could only wear masculine, but there is this kind of general category of more feminine leaning, maybe a little more floral, a little bit more sweet, and then you have your masculine, which is a little bit more, I don't know, woody, just the notes kind of are different. So I use that from a frame of reference, but I am totally into wearing masculine fragrances, and I've actually encouraged my son to really explore trying on some fragrances that are marketed towards women, because I think that they're unisex and anybody can wear anything. So I think that exploring, like looking at the different fragrances from a masculine perspective is really fun. I love unisex fragrances. Lately, I would say I'm gravitating more towards feminine. I don't know if it's just my mood lately. Feminine type fragrances. But yes, I do categorize them as that. I don't categorize from a night and day perspective. I'll kind of wear, or like, oh, this one's a going out fragrance or a sexy fragrance, and I won't wear it during the day. I am mindful of things like putting on a beast mode fragrance to go to the office. Like, I don't want to choke someone out. But like if I'm just going out for the day and shopping or something like that, I don't care if it's considered evening or anything like that. So I don't follow those kind of categories. As far as like seasonal categories, I think I definitely lean towards cooler weather scents and warmer weather scents. So this one, I tend to, like I got it in the spring last year. And to me, I just automatically, when I smell it, my head goes to warmer months, spring, summer months. So I haven't worn this a whole lot during the winter, although I think you totally could. Whereas this one, I've tended to grab it a lot more in the cooler weather. So, I don't know if I'd wear this as much during the warmer weather, but like overall, those are, to me, categories are all up for interpretation, and really it's just a reference point to me. So hope that makes sense. The next question is, how do you typically purchase fragrances? Sampling, based on reviews, blind buying, or trying to sample in a store? So definitely I will listen to reviews, and if someone's raving about a fragrance, if at all possible, I want to smell it. So I'll head to the store, see if they have it available, and I will always try a fragrance on first prior to buying. Now that said, there's certain fragrances that I haven't been able to, I haven't been able to smell for whatever reason, mainly because they're not located, you can't find them in stores. So if that's the case, I will blind buy. And I've done a bit of blind buying, although I kind of had my fill, because I've had a few where it's like, oh, that's nice, but if I would have smelt it, I wouldn't have purchased it. It's just okay. So I don't want just okay fragrances in my collection, and I just find that when I do that, to me it feels like throwing money away. Not that I couldn't sell them, but overall I'm probably not going to get full price for it. So to me it's just throwing money down the toilet. So if at all possible, I try not to blind buy. So even I've thought about getting like fragrance samples from Lucky Scent and different stuff like that prior to purchasing, just because I want to be a good steward of my finances. So that's where I'm leaning. And, you know, I've had some wonderful friends like Nisha from Spicy Looks who've sent me samples. You know, my friend Lori here in Edmonton who sends me samples or gives me fragrances that she doesn't like. So I've had really great opportunity to try fragrances I might not have otherwise gotten to try. But yeah, overall, I want to try it on my skin. So it's not good enough to me to smell it on a card. I have to smell it on my skin because on the card is not necessarily going to translate the same way on me. So to me, it's really important to actually try the fragrance on and wear it for like a day. I like spritzing it on my neck and on my wrist so I can smell it throughout the day, so I know I'm not gonna get sick from it or it doesn't turn weird on me or anything like that. So definitely I'm a try-on girl. Next question is, what fragrance from your collection was not love at first sniff and took you some time to love? So I've talked about Amethyst by Lalique, but I thought I'd talk about another one, and that is Jasmine Wisp by Risasi. Now this one, when I first smelt it, I liked what I smelt off the cap. It smells super just fruity and juicy in the opening, but when I tried it on my skin, I felt like it just felt a little bit scratchy. And so I was like, oh, I'm not quite sure about this. Now the crazy thing about this one is it has lemon, grapefruit, and mandarin in the opening. So you get this citrus. It also has passion fruit, pear, peach, and coconut. So what I get is just kind of a warm, sweet, fruity, like it's kind of indistinct. This one says it has the name of this fragrance is Jasmine Wisp, but the notes that are on it on Fragrantica say it's just white floral. So there's no sort of jasmine reference in this actually. And then the base is vanilla, amber, and tonka bean. So I actually, when I first wore it, like I said, it smelled really scratchy. Then I just found myself kind of almost craving it, especially that that fruity, kind of warm, sweet, fruity opening. But I also find that this one wears really well throughout the day. I can smell it, and I really found I was enjoying it. And if this was a woman, then I would say she is someone that has all of a sudden become really rich. And so she's flaunting it a little bit. So this is in your face, it's loud, it's a little bit boisterous, little bit obnoxious, but still really beautiful. And so that's what I find with this one. There's still a scratchy component to me, a little bit like, yeah, obnoxious is the only word I can think of. But who doesn't want to be obnoxious every once in a while? I know I do. So this one took me a while to love, but now I really enjoy it. It's one of the fragrances that I actually crave. So yeah, this one's definitely a love for me. The next question is, how do you handle your blind buying disappointments? I freak right out. I start to punch the... No, I don't. I get really irritated, actually. I don't enjoy. I know it's kind of like, you win some, you lose some. I get really excited when I have a blind buy, like, success. When I have a blind buy fail, I get actually really irritated with myself for once again falling into a blind buy habit and buying something I haven't sniffed ahead of time. I just think it's totally a waste of my moolah. Now, everybody's different. So, you know, if you enjoy that whole process and it's kind of like, you win some, you lose some, you go for it. But for me, it irritates me quite significantly, and I feel kind of mad at myself for like bowing to the bottle. So yeah, I'm not a fan. I think part of it too, I don't handle failure well. So like in everything in my life, I like success. I just do. I think I'm a bit type A. when it comes to stuff like that. So I like hitting the mark every time. And so when I don't, I'm also very competitive. So if I have a fail, it irritates me. Like, it just irks me. So I don't ever feel upset with anybody that has, you know, they've raved about a fragrance and then I get it and I don't like it. I never feel mad at that person or anything like that, because you know, everybody's nose is different, but I am irked with myself for doing it and not, you know, whatever. Anyway, that's just me. I'm a little bit frugal, so I don't like wasting my shekels. And the last question is, what percentage of your collection is niche, designer, and celebrity? I'd have to say 90% of my collection is designer, and 5 would be celebrity, and 5% would be niche. Maybe not even 5% would be niche. I don't have a whole lot of niche. The majority is designer, and for now I'm happy with that. I really enjoy the designer fragrances, and because I'm so new to fragrance, I have only just tapped the surface of exploring designer fragrances. So for now, I'm pretty content. Plus, the designer fragrances are easier for me to sniff and easier for my subscribers to sniff. So I tend to kind of want to choose ones that they can actually get their hands on or smell. But that said, I also am kind of curious to dabble a little bit more into the niche because yeah, I just find them fascinating, but that'll come in time. So for now, about 5% niche, 5% celebrity. Celebrity scents, there's a couple that I go, wow, those are fantastic, but overall, they're a little lackluster for me. And so yeah, again, designer is where it's at for the time being anyway for me. Anyway, those are the questions. And Emmy, thank you so much for tagging me. Please go check out her channel. She is such a sweetheart. She's got a phenomenal collection. She's got, I would say, like my guess is she's got 80% niche at this point. She's got a ton of different fragrances. She knows her fragrance, and definitely go check her out. I'll have her linked below. And also, if you would like to answer these questions in the comments and let me know what your answers are to these, I would love that. So feel free, I'll leave the questions in the description box for you. And other than that, that's about it. Have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.